What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, the one with the SkarxFace, your boy SkarxFace. And today, I'm with Joey, Thrifter from, and his wife, or wife?
Girlfriend.
Chante. Yeah. Chante.
Wife to be.
Soon. So we're doing a video. He's a pretty popular thrifter out in, I mean, one of the top, if not the best, out of Utah.
Thank you.
I mean, I went through your feed, I checked it all out, you know, I'll put it on the screen and everything too. So I had some questions because, you know, there's people who want to get into thrifting, and they just don't know what to do. Like me, I like the thrifting, you know, I bought some stuff from you.
Cool.
And so, just so other people can learn like what to do. So, first of all, how long have you guys been thrifting for?
I just started with him when I graduated college in May, so I'm learning too. So.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it, I would say, since I was in high school. My mother's very frugal. She's like, you know, I grew up in South Florida, so we used to go to the boutiques.
Yeah.
And like when I was 13, and you'd find like Gucci, Louis, Fendi, dirt cheap. In Boca Raton, Florida, Miami. You know, so I was like, yeah, always say, you might find something cool there. So I went to college, I got into it, and I started buying books with it, paying bills with it. You know, as just a little money on the side, then I got it into a career as it, you know, a good side hustle career.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we do some similar, like we buy a lot of stuff from Ross, and like we'll flip it. Like recently, I mean, if you're into the cleats, like soccer cleats, I bought some cleats for 30 bucks each. I made like total profit like almost 200 bucks. You know what I mean? So like, it's if you know what you're doing, like
that's the thing.
You know how to flip it. So well, you mentioned like that was my next question, why you got into thrifting. You said that it was just like a side hustle, and now it's like a full-time hustle.
Yeah, and it was a big passion. Like you said, you do the Ross, you look for cleats. My passion was the whole like vintage sports. You know, like that's my specialty. I don't know about Tommy and Guess and cleats, but I respect those that have like, I know this sells, and it sells for me.
Yeah, the reason we started was for shoes. I remember like it was a few years ago, Jordans, like rare Jordans, the Olympic 6s were popping up and things like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this
wow.
At Ross, at
Olympics.
Ross, the Laser 4s, like just we found so many stuff. And so then I started uploading videos, people started following, and then I started selling them, started making money, so, you know, might as well just do it full time. And now, like, I mean, we got the whole, like, SkarxFace, like, everything.
The whole brand,
we got the brand going. I got my own brand going and stuff. These dudes helping me out, so. So like I said, I'm fairly new into getting into thrifting. What are some like top things that you go in to look for, like when you go to a thrift?
What do we look for?
We go in, our specialty is sports, so we go in and we usually go directly to the athletic and we look for the colors that we like. So it's like t-shirts or jerseys, you know, we go to that color. So our specialty is sports, vintage sports, not just current sports. We do a lot of vintage sports, but we do have some current sports gear that we do.
And like sometimes when you're at the thrift store looking, like see this shirt, see the color right here? If you see that in a rack, you know it's vintage. So like you look for certain things that you're like, okay, that's vintage, let me look at it first. It could be just a regular blank shirt, or it could be a Guess shirt or this. Yeah. You know? And sometimes, like for instance, this is a Champion jersey, right? So if you see it on a rack, like always look for these in sports racks. Not you're like, okay, that's Champion style because of this type of material. The holes are very thin and it's not large. So a lot of times, it's just looking for like little details that you get trained over time by thrifting. Okay, you know, like sometimes like the sleeves, like one of these are like single stitch was big back in the 80s and 90s. Now they're double stitch. So like I mean, you're always training your eye. Like with Jordans, you guys are sneakerheads, you know. So with Jordans, for example, like looking inside of the shoe, you know, looking at like the date. And sometimes people like they only go for retros, Jordans, but there's some that like the OG color, the OG color, OG ones, like those ones. And there's one pair I found. It was a Jordan 11, but it wasn't the 11s. It was one that they made in like 1990, like whenever they came out. It was a different
prototype.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what's prototype?
No?
It was they made a different set of 11s. Like everyone knows the Space Jams and those and the Concords, but he made like a different version of the 11s. that people still look for.
Yeah.
They're not the same type of like resale price, but collectors love them.
Yeah.
So it's just being knowledge in the game. Whatever you're looking for, like with cleats, for example.
Yeah.
Like we go to the Ross all the time in Utah, and there's so many cleats that we find. Like some are like Under Armour, like Steph Curry brand or whatever. Some are like Jordan.
Yeah.
But we don't know, you know.
Yeah, see, and the cleats, I'm still learning. Mainly us, like the way you go and look for stuff, we see like tech cleats, we see like Nike gear, like premium, like Supreme has actually showed up at Ross, so like you can find all sorts of stuff. So I mean that's what we like to do. And so what are some brands that some people can look for? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you see this brand, you know it's money.
Yeah, I would say like it varies on gender now. Before I've been doing it as a male by myself, and then now doing it with her. There's some stuff that girls look for that I'm not looking for. You know, like oversized sweaters, like Fila is having a huge comeback right now. You know, Champion having a huge comeback right now. Of course, like Nike, Air Jordan, like the Nike gray tags. You know, when like Karl Kani is having a comeback. So there's various brands. I would say if you're getting into the thrifting game, if you want to go like straight to the hype, Tommy Hilfiger. I don't look for Tommy because I'm not specialized in Tommy, but Tommy Hilfiger, Guess, Karl Kani, a lot of those like Disney is having a huge comeback. Like Disneyland stuff, Disney World stuff, band tees, rap tees. You know, even like boxing tees. Wrestling tees.
Oh, yeah.
Having a huge comeback. Harley Davidson. So it varies where you're at. We were in Phoenix this past week, and what was big there was Harley Davidson tees. You know, I was like, wow. But in Florida, old school Tommy Bahama's big. So, you never know.
Yeah.
Our store page called Our Vault Collection. OUR Vault Collection. Personals Joey Braxton.
Mine's Chante Nicole, ChanteNicole_.
So hey, make sure you guys follow them. If you have any other questions, I'm pretty sure they'll help you out. They got a lot of stuff to sell too. They got a lot of heat. Oh, thank you guys for doing the video. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, SkarxFace.
Thank you.
It was nice meeting you guys too.
Yes,
Nice
thank
meeting
you.
Thank you.
All of you. Thank you.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Like, yo,
give this video a thumbs up.
Is it